The historic scene drops of Winona's Masonic Temple are being removed from their perch above the temple stage and will be placed in storage until rigging can be repaired and the drops restored. City of Winona Community Services Director Chad Ubel said it was decided to remove the drops after it was discovered that the rigging system, which raises and lowers the individual scene drops, was in danger of failing.
We had the rigging system evaluated this past spring, and that report came back saying there was significant deficiency in the system, meaning that the ropes and counterweights and some of the mechanisms that are used to fly the drops in and fly them out were showing signs of failure, and really became a safety issue if we didn't take down the drops or have them removed from the rigging system. And so we are in the process of removing the drops from the rigging system and preserving them with the full intention of having them restored and then placed back on a new rigging system so again they can be used again in the future.
Ubel explained the process of how the drops will be stored.
The drops have, at the top of the canvas and the bottom of the canvas, they have what are called wooden battens. And these wooden components come off of the actual canvas drop. And then when they are taken down, if you can imagine them coming down to the stage, they're then pulled out to the house. And so they're laid on the floor of the house. They're cleaned, so again, not restored, but they're cleaned. Dust is removed. In what I've been saying, kind of in layman's terms, they're vacuumed. And then a PVC pipe, the length or width of the drop is then rolled onto the PVC pipe. So it's not rolled up and inserted into a pipe, it's rolled across the pipe, moving left to right.
Last week, the public received an opportunity to see the century-old drops before they were taken down. Mason Paul Himmler explained the drops were part of stage productions which were used to assist in Masonic teachings of morality, integrity, honesty, and justice.
This scene is from the 15th degree. Again, these were all morality plays. In this case, the gentleman is offered all the treasure if he would give up his secrets. And of course, you can imagine he won't, because that's what this is about, integrity. Okay. So this was one scene, or this whole scene was for this one scene in 1 degree.
Dr. Wendy Wassett Barrett is an expert on the history of Masonic drops and is also trained in the restoration of them. She said Winona's drops are in good overall condition, but most have varying degrees of water damage. However, that damage is repairable.
The majority of the scenery has 3 aspects of water damage, smack on down the center and on each side, the stage right side and the stage left side. First of all, what you're seeing, the damage in the center part of the cut drop, where you see the 2 light streams, that's where the water came down. So that's not a painting. The other type of damage that you're seeing is those big wrinkles and sags. That happens when the center cut part starts to get holes in it, so there is not a structural support over the cut opening. Basically, it starts to sag and it's not being held up anymore, so the netting in that opening would be replaced. Also, if you look at the top of the blue-gray in the center, you can see where dust has started to fall on it. Again, that's something that typically can be done by volunteers or even can be done in-house once you know what you're doing. It's very straightforward.
No restoration work will be done prior to placing the scenes in storage. Wassett Barrett said the process will most likely cause creases, which will in turn cause some additional damage, making any restoration beforehand fruitless.
What's happened over time is the fabric stretched. So sometimes the fabric can stretch up until 4 feet is the most extreme. You don't see it, but it's gradual over time. So to restore it and then try to roll it, when it gets unrolled, there's going to be something that's going to need to be fixed. It would end up being more expensive to restore it, roll it, and then hang it.
They should be able to be stored safely for up to 5 years. That will give the city 5 years to come up with the money to either repair or replace the rigging and restore the drops. But he said the building must be proven sound before any money is spent on restoration efforts.
I think our plan all along is in the next 5 years is to make sure that the structural integrity of the building is sound and to make sure that we have, if there's any structural deficiencies, that those are taken care of. That to me has always been the priority, to look at things like the roof, to make sure that roof trusses, again, foundation work, those structural components of the building are sound before we go into any type of restoration of the drops or the rigging system.
In addition to the integrity of the building's roof, the rear wall of the Masonic Temple is an area of concern due to a large crack that is formed. Ubel said the city will have a clearer picture on the building's condition by the end of August. At that time, he said projects will be prioritized and a plan for funding those repairs will be developed.